show you some of the coleus that we're growing here to use at the Botanic Garden at Oklahoma State University. And you can see they come in a wide arrangement of different colors. And the nice thing about coleus is you're going to get color all season long. Now, they are annuals, so it's something that you're going to have to buy each spring to plant out, but they really work well in a lot of different environments, both in sun and shade. There's different coleuses that allow for different exposures. And also some of them can be stretched, and so you'll see kind of a spectrum of the colors that will come out on them or that they present. So I just want to go through some of these with you so you can see what we've got here. The first one I want to show you is called Religious Radish. And you can see it's just your really nice kind of burgundy. In some of the veins down in the middle of the leaf, you can see it's got more of kind of a lighter pink color. And then it's fringed with some green just on the edges there. It's got a nice scalloped leaf that's about 2 to 3 inches. Now this particular one is going to get to be about 1 foot to 2 feet tall and have a similar spread. Next to it here we have chocolate or ColorBlaze Chocolate Drop Coleus. And I really like this one. It almost has like a polka dot look or effect in the landscape. You can see it has a much smaller leaf to it, only about 1 inch or 1/2 inch in some of the cases. But again, it's got the margins that are green, but a really dark, almost chocolate-like center to them. And you can also see by the habit here, it's more of a spreading habit. So it's going to spread out a little bit more. So if you're looking for something that might be more like a ground cover, this would be a nice option for you. Now you can see coleus do flower. On here we've got these kind of purplish blue flowers to them. And you can let them bloom if you want to, but really if you want to kind of preserve the foliage and exhibit it at its best, you're going to want to deadhead those by pinching off those, or you can use your snips to kind of pinch back any of those flowers before they come on. And that's just to really showcase the foliage better. Next here we have one called Twist and Twirl. It's got a little bit larger leaf that's got larger lobes to it, you can see. This particular one is much more burgundy, but next to it we have a very similar one, and these were both growing side by side on the bench, so you can just see the variations that you might get in this. But the leaf kind of is a little bit, has a longer petiole, and tends to just really have a lot of blotchiness of the different colors. You can see there's some hot pink to it, some burgundy, and even some green to it. Of course, we might be partial to the orange coleus here, but this one is called Rustic Orange. And you can see again, it's got some nice true orange color to it with kind of a golden yellow margin along the edge. That lobe is much smaller. It's a smaller serration to it there. But large 3 to 4 inch leaves that are really nice, really showy in the landscape. Now this particular one does best, it gets its best color in part shade. And you can see down here, here's another one that's kind of exhibiting a little bit more, I would say, rust in that orange. But you can see how it's got a little bit more vibrancy to that color. Again, it's going to get to be about 2 feet tall. Next here we have ColorBlaze Golden Dreams, and you can see the burgundy veins that it produces, and this one is going to get well over 40 inches tall, and it has more of an upright growth, so this is going to make a nice thriller if you want to put it in a container or something. But again, a nice contrast between this burgundy and again the golden veins there. The next one has a fun name, and this one's called ColorBlaze Wicked Witch, and it's definitely kind of gives you that sort of Halloween look to it with the really almost black center to the leaves here with the bright green edges that makes you kind of think of the Wicked Witch of the West. The nice thing about Wicked Witch is that it is a late bloomer, so you're not going to have to worry about disbudding it as much in order to maintain the integrity of that foliage till later on in the season. The next one here we have is called Torchlight, and you can see it got its name because it has that nice red flame right down the center of that midrib of that leaf right there. So again, a nice combination. You're going to get a different mix of colors in that. And then the next one here we have next to it is called Pink Ruffles. And what's nice about this one is you can see how I got its name. Again, Pink Ruffles. It tends to want to have the leaves curl a little bit on you. And so it exposes the underneath, the really bright pink underneath there. Now this particular one is going to get about 18 inches tall, but a nice lacy frilly addition to the garden. Next to it here, a lot of times we use sweet potato vine if we're wanting to put this chartreuse color in our landscape. But if you're looking for something that wants to be pushed more into the shade, this is called Wasabi. It's a coleus that does really well, and again, it's going to just give you that punch of color to highlight any of those shady areas that you might have. We have another orange one here that's a lovely addition, and if you've ever been to Sedona, you can see why they call this one Sedona Sunset, because it definitely has just that vibrant orange color. Again, edged with sort of that lime green on the scallops of the margins there. So again, a nice addition to your garden, and this one's going to get up to 3 feet tall. So again, they might seem small, but when you plant them, if you get them on 4-inch, they're going to need a lot of space to grow. Here we have, it's called ColorBlaze Rediculous Coleus, and you can see it's, again, it got a nice red color to it with green margins. And last but not least, we have one called Marrakesh, and you can see some of the variations that it has depending on its sun exposure. But what's nice about this particular one is you can see how kind of compact it is, and while it's going to definitely get taller, what's nice about this is it doesn't require as much pinching in order to maintain its habit. It's actually self-branching, so it's going to naturally branch and kind of create more of a bushy appearance than what some of the other coleuses are. Now, if you have some other coleuses that tend to get leggy depending on their exposure, or maybe they're packed close together and you want to make them a little bushier, what you're going to do when we talk about pinching is really, you can see here how we have pinched previously as we've grown these. You can see there's an old scar there where it was pinched back, and now you've got two branches coming out, taking off. So if we wanted to do that again, we would come in here and just basically go right above 2 leaves and pinch that back. Again, this is going to callus over. You might do it with little snips. That probably would make that a smoother cut, but you can do it with your fingers. They're pretty hardy and they're not too hard to break apart. Now, if you've done this and you have some cuttings or some leftover pieces and you want to go ahead and root these out, they're easy to propagate. So what you would do is just kind of cut off these lower leaves, and oftentimes you can just put these in a glass of water or even some potting soil and you'll get another plant that way. So I hope this gives you some information about how to add a little more color into your garden without the flowers.
Hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.